Hey guys, let's talk about some tips for finding better posture in downward facing dog. So, one of the things that you might be wondering is how far away your hands should be from your feet. So, a good point of reference is to come into plank pose first, because generally you're coming from downward dog into plank in your vinyasa. So, when you go into your plank, you'll put your hands directly under your shoulders. Sometimes it might be nice to have somebody else look at you and tell you when your hands are there. So when you're in that position, you've probably got a nice flat back with your abs engaged. And then you can exhale back into downward facing dog, and that should give you a good hand placement. If you went from downward dog back into plank and your hands were too far out in front of you, you'll notice that because your hands will be too far away from your shoulders. And then if your hands were too close to your feet, you'll notice that when you go into plank because your hands will be behind your shoulders. So having your hands right under your shoulders will get you a good distance for your downward facing dog. And then while we're in down dog, here's a few things to notice. We want to find a lot of length through the side body and the arms in this pose, but we also want to make sure our shoulders are down away from our ears. Our shoulders will stay in their sockets and not pushing forward too far so that they come up by the ears, but nice and staying in their sockets. And now that the shoulders are good, make sure that you're dropping your head. Relax that head and neck completely. No need to be looking forward or to the side, but just let it go. And then this is my favorite little tip that I learned to help get my hips into position. So what you're going to do is bend your knees deeply so that your stomach is almost touching your thighs, pressing those two together. And then from here, pretend like somebody is grabbing you by the waistband of your pants and lifting your hips up. That imagination should really help get your hips up to the sky. And then after that, sink your heels down towards the mat. It's not a requirement to get them to touch the mat, but you're just sinking them down more towards the mat. And there you have it. Take a look at everything once more, that you're reaching through your hands, that your shoulders are away from your ears and are in their sockets. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together, you're lifting your hips up towards the sky, and you're letting your heels sink down towards the mat. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, let me know in the comments. See you next time.